very classy, cultural. Well, now he's a newsman,
Right?
Because he's at CNN.
Are you happy his show's not doing well?
No. You know, I kind of find it funny that Piers. This is what, and Piers will tell you this himself. You know, he works at CNN, and it's kind of a very eclectic show because he'll talk about Libya,
right?
And then he's talking to Tori Spelling,
right?
Yeah.
I don't really understand.
Weird. It's a weird gig, yeah.
It is a weird gig, but you know, he's got this commitment to CNN. So sometimes when we're on the road, we always have a CNN producer there at AGT.
Right.
Because if there's breaking news, they set up a satellite feed and he goes up to the roof. So now he's talking about Libya, and then he comes downstairs and he judges a guy in his underpants with a chicken.
Right.
You know, it's such a dichotomy.
Do you think it's funny that they hired him to replace Larry King? They really didn't know what he would do in that.
Well, he is a journalist. He's known
Yes.
in Britain as a journalist, and I think they wanted to go for somebody who had.
I find him a likable guy, and yet he was trying to sort of get me into some sort of battle with him.
Well, I think, you know, he's following that WWE kind of mentality where, you know, he's going to be the biggest and the best,
yeah,
and the most. So you kind of, that challenge kind of gets you to.
Do you think that strategy worked for him?
Maybe there's more noise out there than there would be if he didn't have a strategy. So even if it's that noise, even if it's you saying it's stupid, why would you do that? And you talking about him at the basketball game,
right?
He would not have that if he didn't have that strategy,
right?
So it's better than nothing. But here's what I'm doing this year. So last year he took it upon himself to find me the most annoying man in America. He just thinks I'm annoying. My sense of humor, my sensibility is annoying, and he was saying that.
I think you're a terrific judge.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I really think I have something to offer after 30 years in the business, and my taste is, I think we have similar taste. I believe there is a place for somebody, you make a whole living at your Whack Pack.
Right.
And I grew up watching, you know, Tiny Tim.
Right.
And that was the biggest ratings that Carson ever had.
Yeah.
The marriage. There is a place for that.
Right.
And
your point of view is that a Tiny Tim could be discovered on America's Got Talent as much as a great singer, that you got to be open-minded.
Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman. You don't have to be a great singer. You don't have to be a great juggler. If you're just off a little bit.
It might be a guy who just goes, what? And then
there
all of a sudden you're funny.
So, but he doesn't see that. I go, it's funny. And he'll go, it's bad. I go, because it's bad, it's funny.
Right.
And then he just dismisses me as you know, as cultural ignoramus, he calls me.
Right.
So it started to wear on me. And I said to him this year, I said, you know what? You're calling me annoying. You're saying it's tough to work with me. You know what? And you're not stopping saying that. I'm going to really make it true then. I am going to be the most annoying, and I have got him at this point. I don't know how much will end up on the show, but last week we shot in Minneapolis. He told me to go fuck myself. He did, but this is
on camera.
Well, there was cameras. I always say the cameras, come here, watch what I'm going to do. He just last week he went to Israel and interviewed Netanyahu. He flew from Israel to London, where he did a CNN show, where he flew to New York and did a live feed here, and then he flew to Minneapolis, and he said he was very tired. He was very jet lagged. So in the break, he made it known that, you know, I've been to Israel and I was doing this. I'm going to be sleeping. I need a half hour of quiet. I don't want anybody to bother me. So as soon as he went in his room, I grabbed the bullhorn. I stood outside his door for the full 3-hour break going, please stay back from the door. Mr. Morgan is trying to rest here. Please, please. Breaking news, he is resting, which is funny for the first half hour. Maybe even funnier for an hour. In the second hour, he just came out. He had a bowl of candies. He whipped at me. He goes, get the fuck out of here. So I'm always doing things. We had a call where he had to be.
It's like a prisoner of war camp to him. You're denying him sleep. Yeah.
I had all the PAs push a Pepsi machine in front of his door so he couldn't get out when we were called to the set. He hates these little furry walk around. I know he hates these walk around puppets. These you know, like you see at Disneyland, like the characters.
Yeah.
Some gnomes came on our show to try to sing. It's the most ridiculous act you've ever seen. It's really bad.
Right.
And if you're listening,
bad.
gnomes, it's not funny bad. It's
just bad.
It's just not good.
Right.
But I know he hates them.
Right.
So I voted them through. And everywhere we go, whenever they're there, I put them in his dressing room. Just because it's so, if he's going to squirm, he called me annoying. I love, when I see somebody's soft spot or their annoying spot, I love to just prey on that.
I love it. I love that you're a judge on that. I think you're doing a fabulous job. And that kind of stuff is really funny, to watch you annoy the shit out of Piers Morgan. I love it.
I love that.
Oh, that's so good. And he doesn't have that kind of mind like you do, where you're just thinking pranks 99% of the time.
Well, you know what's good about the show? The show is that we get 3 different opinions. You know, he comes at it like a journalist.
I think he's terrific, too.
He is. Yeah. And he's a journalist, and he comes at it like that, and maybe the audience's point of view. But Sharon is the manager who kind of curb somebody's career, and I'm the actual performer. I have the empathy.
You have the unique perspective of being a guy who's actually performed in Vegas and been successful in Vegas.
Right.
And that's why I respect what you say, because you know what it is to get on a stage.
Right, but they don't respect when I see something that is so off.
Yeah.
Isn't it so amazing, the dichotomy that you are fearless on stage? You really are. I mean, to go up on stage and entertain people, you almost have to be so fearless, and yet in your private life, you're so full of fear.
But you know what?
And how do you explain that in this aspect you're fearless?
Because on stage, when somebody says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Howie Mandel," I'm cloaked in this. It's really not personal. I'm not talking to anybody in particular, and maybe you feel the same way when you're on the radio. The radio is much easier for you than being in real life, than being at a party.
Right.
You're talking to millions of people right now.
Right.
You go to a party, it's hard for you to talk to 6 people. When I'm on stage, it's just this wall of, I'm just having a good time. I'm trying to entertain myself. I think it's funny.
Yes, but I guess if I was your psychiatrist, I would sit there and be baffled, because I'd say, here's a guy who's afraid of everything, and yet he wasn't afraid to step on that stage the first time and take a dare.
No, that fear and that adrenaline is a rush. And I read that in your article. The fact that discomfort is what I need. That's the fuel that keeps me going. And then again, like you, I could be sold out at Radio City Music Hall. If I catch the eye of one person not laughing, my evening is ruined.
Right. Even after all these years.
Yeah, after all these years. There was a story in my book. I get embarrassed. So I was at a concert, and I'm doing this concert, and the place is rolling, and I'm doing good, and this is one guy sitting up front who's he won't even make eye contact with me. He's just sitting there looking off to the left, And I'm thinking, what the fuck do I have to do to get this guy's attention? This is the worst fucking... So finally, and this is my problem, I say what I think, and it just comes out, and I'm sorry after. And I just went, can I just stop for a second? You, with the red shirt, you won't even fucking look at me. What the fuck do I have to do to get a smile from you, to get a laugh from... What the fuck is wrong with you? Just look at me.
Yeah.
And the woman beside him goes, he's blind. He's blind. I just sucked the comedy right out of the...
that Rolling Stone article, the guy who interviewed me, Neil Strauss, I kept checking over to see if he was laughing.
That's what I read that. Yeah, I really related to everything.
Except Neil wasn't blind, so I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, you couldn't say that about him.
That's right. So, Howie, listen. Let's talk and tell everyone that they have to watch Mobs.
Oh, let me tell you what it is. It's not tweeting.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Flash mobs, everybody knows what those are. On the internet, these people, they got together by tweeting. They got these instantaneous dance musicals together in public places, like in a mall or in a train station.
50,000 people get together and dance like Michael Jackson.
Right. Okay. Right. So I said, and they got billions of downloads. How can this be a television show? Okay. And the one twist we did was we said, okay, those are just so that people in public can kind of walk by and go, what the fuck is this? Am I in a musical?
Right.
I said, what if you had a very private message that you wanted to tell somebody that would change their life forever? Like, you want to tell a boss to take his job and shove it.
Or, darling, I want to marry you.
Or, I'm pregnant and you're the father.
Oh, good. Better.
So what if you wanted to do that? And what if, kind of in a hidden camera kind of way, we get you to a public place and we design 1,000 people to give you this message in a huge public musical?
Could it be as dark as I Want a Divorce?
Yes.
Oh, very good.
So I like that. So even when it's a proposal,
honey, even though you're my husband, I'm pregnant and you're not the father?
That we would do that. Or coming out of the closet. We would do that.
I'm telling parents that you're coming out of the closet.
We would do that.
You would do that?
Yes.
What about you have cancer? You have 6 months to live.
We would do a short number. It would be a very short...
How about I just ran over your dog with my car?
Well, I don't know what the music would be as uplifting.
Come on, man. Let's get crazy.
You found the line.
Right.
But the thing is, but even with the proposal, I didn't want it to be just a sappy little proposal. Right. So we found a couple who had problems. She's very jealous. And they keep breaking up. So I kind of picked at that scab, and we sent in other women to, and in fact, when you watch tonight, I think I went too far, because I made her cry.
Right.
Oh, dear.
I did. It was, and I feel terrible. So I wanted to come on the show, not so much to plug the show, as much to To apologize.
Nothing better than 1,000 people saying, he fucked your friend. You know, I see Howie Mandel. I'm mobbed tonight.
Right after the results show on Idol. That's a good spot.
And
good
two
spot.
people get kicked off tonight. Big show, right?
Not off of Mobbed.
No,
off of Idol. The big show, yes.
Are you nervous about how the ratings will be? In other words, you're following a big show, and you are nervous.
Yes. Now, I know that we will not do Idol numbers.
Right,
and, you know, I've been following I watch numbers like crazy. Even when I'm not, I watch every number by the 5 minutes.
Do you watch American Idol?
I'm out most nights, but yes.
Is Steven Tyler a good new judge? Now, you are a judge.
I think that Steven Tyler is a phenomenal new judge. I think he's the star of the show now. I think that he has breathed
Is Jennifer Lopez a good judge? And is Randy a good judge? You are a judge now on America's Got Talent.
So
I happen to think you're good at it. Are they really that good? Be honest.
Good judges or good for the show?
Good judges.
I would have to say, I will have to give them props for judging. You know, I miss the
Simon aspect.
Well, the real cynical, but they
need a Piers, don't they? In a sense.
But I don't know that Piers knows as much about music as maybe Simon does.
If you had to get rid of one judge on American Idol, who would it be?
Do I have to?
Yes, of course you have to.
Who would I get rid of?
Who would you get rid of?
I think Steven Tyler. I keep Steven Tyler.
And you would get rid of Jennifer Lopez.
Get rid of the other two.
No. Jennifer Lopez. I would not get rid of.
So
did you see last night? Did you watch the show last night?
I did watch it.
She is the most gorgeous.
But when she opens her mouth, I don't like what she says. I think she's captivating. I think she's gorgeous.
So that's good enough. What did Paula have to say?
That's true.
Right?
Okay.
So she's absolutely stunning.
So Randy's out the door.
What? Sometimes he's a little pitchy. Sometimes he's a little pitchy. But I don't even know what that word means.
Would you do me a favor with your new TV show?
Yes.
There's somebody here I need to fire. Can we do it with your flash mob? Would you mind?
You want to know something? I would love to do that. I would love to fire somebody in a flash mob.
So if the ratings are good tonight, then you'll get a pickup. In other words, you'll be able to do more of these shows.
That's what they're saying. So I'll be watching. You know, and I don't expect as many people as watching Idol will watch our show. But it is a fun show, and it gets a little...
And you have nothing...
Are you going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. And
you stay up that late?
Yeah. Well, I'll tape it. And let me tell you something. You have nothing to worry about because you own gas stations. You have fuck you money. So don't even worry about the ratings.
But he likes working.
I know.
I like to keep busy. Otherwise, I get depressed like I was in 2005, and then I'm gone.
You still banging your wife, or you're getting freaked out with the germs on that level, too?
No.
Everything's cool.
Oh, she lets me. We have our what's it called? Our foreplay is just me sponging her down.
Cleaning her off. Swab. All right, listen. You've said it all. Howie Mandel, we love seeing you.
I love being here.
I see a question on the phone. How does Howie take his shoes off? That's from Chris in Deer Park.
Do you do Shoedini?
Shoes must freak you out because they're dirty, filthy from the...
Well, you don't touch the bottom.
You don't.
I will never touch the bottom. That freaks me out when you see people sitting and they touch the bottom. Does that bother you?
Yeah, but not so
Especially
much.
Here in New York.
You're right.
All that shit.
My wife will not let me wear shoes in the house, and it drives me crazy because sometimes I don't care, and she goes, no, the carpets will get filthy from the outside and this and that. Do you make everyone take off their shoes when they enter the house?
No.
You do not.
No, but I don't touch the floor.
Barefoot runners. Have you seen people run? They run barefoot in Central Park.
Those are called lunatics. All right, listen, Howie.
Yes.
I love seeing you.
I love
your success. I'm happy for you.
And you're going to watch Mob tonight.
I'm going to watch Mob tonight. Try to keep your hands clean.
How can you have a phone and you put it down and you pick it up and you...
Right. You know, don't give me shit if I'm okay. I'm actually very medicated right now as we speak. I am.
Oh,
what are you on today?
Today?
Yeah. What are you on that you're so medicated?
You know what? They don't want me to say.
Why?
I'll tell you why.
Who is they?
Because you're afraid people will copy you.
Yes, and then it won't be good for them.
No, they
said I recommend. I'm in a lot of therapy, and even my therapist and my psychiatrist said when you're in the public eye, do not mention your medicine specifically.
You have a therapist
people will take,
and a psychiatrist.
Yes, both.
You have two.
Well,
because the psychiatrist prescribes the medication and the therapist talks to you.
Right.
How many times a week is this occurring?
Well, now I'm really busy, so none, but sometimes twice a week.
All right. And you're on a medication, several medications or one?
Yeah, a lot of medications.
Several medications?
Yes.
Are you able to be funny and alert and all of this?
Well, I was just here for an hour. Will you tell me?
I thought you did really well.
And I haven't slept.
What was it? What other medications? Tell
I cannot tell you.
We promise
just
not to
tell
go
us
on.
in general. Is it an
If you promise what?
We all promise not to go on
No,
these medications.
I can't tell you.
Wow, you have boundaries. Okay.
No.
Can you
I just
tell us?
I just think there's people. You know, when I come at these shows, when I do your show,
Yes.
I'll get like 1,000 tweets
Right.
of people going, "Oh, how are you dealing with it? Tell me what you're doing." And I just don't want people. What's good for the goose is not good for the gander. It may not. And constantly, I am changing the medications because
I see.
I'll
You're being
slide
tweaked.
down.
How many Twitter followers do you have?